Today we're gonna follow a path of tips that you guys have given me, and we're gonna explore some of the highest level of bot farm and gold farms in the game. I dived a little deeper in this video. I actually snuck onto a few Discord channels dedicated to botting. Now I talked to Modweef, and the screenshots that I gathered from those Discords, the Discord names, I have to crop out significantly because obviously I don't want to share any information that could actually point somebody to botting. So when you guys see cropped screenshots or I don't specify anything about Discord, it's because that could harm RuneScape, so I'm not going to do that. Leave a like if you guys enjoy the bot busting content, and don't forget to comment below anywhere you've seen bots that you'd like me to check out. The first bot farm we're checking out is at Kerrasks. There seem to be two types of bots at Kerrasks. One is in full Guthans, as you guys can see here. You wouldn't really expect bots to get a requirement like 70 Slayer. That takes ages. But on the other hand, it's probably pretty hard to detect a bot doing Slayer because it's changing tasks. It might even change styles of combat. But obviously I wanted to make sure that these accounts I found were bots, so I used the tell the others spell on them in between their kills. And immediately it's pretty clear that they're bots. They just spin around in circles, spam clicking the Kerrasks through the teleport other screen. The other bot farm at Kerrasks is also equally as easily identified. They wear full dragon and still have the same bot type usernames. Their stats are also basically the same as the Guthans bots. And once again, you cast the tell the other spell on them and they spin in circles. You can also drop loot that Kerrasks drop and they will run away for a while, but they don't leave the general area, so the bots are pretty advanced. As you guys can see, in a lot of worlds there are even multiples, not just one but two or even three of them. And some of them are actually really high level with almost base 90 melee stats. And just remember again, their usernames are stuff like Wand Hunt 1184. Okay, but then there was this guy. This is the daddy of the bot farm. Look at him, he has a DFS on and an obby cape, and he's level 117, but he's still dressed like the bots. Now, I don't actually know for sure if this guy is a bot, but his stats are also basically indicative of the other bots, but also just having trained all the other skills to about 50. I couldn't test my theory because he wasn't killing the Kerrasks when I logged in, but I'm pretty sure this guy's also a bot, or just the owner of the bots. The next bot farm is slightly harder to find. They're at the Elder Chaos Druids, but they instantly teleport from players within their combat bracket. Maybe this is the training area for some of the higher level PVM bots because the Elder Chaos Druids drop valuable robes. They're really decent XP per hour and there's basically no supplies cost. But these accounts have literally trained nothing except for attack, strength, defense, and like 40-43 prayer. I hopped on my low level defense tank so that these bots wouldn't teleport when I logged into their world. And this was kind of the test to make sure that these weren't all just coordinated players who had insane reaction times. So I assumed the bots picked up at least Elder Chaos Druid robes and probably Grimy Raynars. So when I dropped a Grimy Raynar, the bot instantly started running to it. Something a player definitely wouldn't do because it's pretty hard to just see a random Grimy Raynar pop up under a different player 20 tiles away. The bot kind of spazzes out and wants to pick up the Grimy Raynar but is getting teleported around and has auto retaliate on. So that gave me an idea. What if on my low level account I drop a Grimy Raynar and then instantly log in on the account that can attack the bot? Would the bot's response time get delayed or even turn off because it's distracted by the loot? So without my low level account dropping anything, this was my attempt to TB the bot. I'm not the fastest clicker or whatever, but I couldn't get him. So now I'll show you guys both perspectives when I drop the Raynar on my low level account and when I'm on the PKer account. I got him! It worked! Now, I'm not entirely sure if I've actually bought myself extra time or if I was just slightly faster this time, but I don't really care. It worked. And since the bot's TB'd now, it just can't do anything. It's not programmed to run away. The total loot was 1.16 mil. A lot of that was from the 5,000 ether out of the Vigora's chain mace. But the other weird thing was that I looted 2 of every one of the bot's gear. So the bot was wearing a dragon med helm, but I got 2 of them. So the bot must have messed up when it was re-gearing or something. Got him. He's done for. Here's another bot I found, and again with the dropping technique I was able to TB it, but this one was using a granite longsword instead of the Vigora's chainmace, so I wasn't that enthusiastic about the loot. Except once I killed it and looked at the loot, the bot hadn't banked in a really long time, it looked like. But anyway, the loot was almost 400k, and when you look at the bot's stats, it's very similar to the other account, but since the bot was there for so long, maybe it started at 50 attack, which is why it wasn't using the Vigora's chainmace. I don't really know. So I found this level 91 bot, and it's dressed the same as the other bots, except for obviously it's a much higher level. Its stats are a little bit more advanced. It has ranged mage, some wood cutting, higher prayer. But I dropped a Grammy Raynar to test to see if it was still a bot, and it was. And this was an interesting test because my peer is a level 77. So would the bot not teleport then in 12 or 13 wilderness because my peer can't attack it? Why not just lure the bot to 14 wilderness and then instantly teleblock it? Here he comes. Get it! No! He keeps getting teleported! Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Pow! Got him! Oh, come on! I can't even attack him right. Okay. This is just, he's TB'd. So as soon as I TB'd the bot, I'm guessing the bot tried to teleport. And when it couldn't teleport, the bot definitely broke. Because after I TB'd the bot, it no longer responded to me dropping Raynars whatsoever. And eventually, its prayer ran out. So the bot just completely broke, and I wasn't able to kill it, but it died from its prayer running out. Not the ideal outcome, but I got the bot to suicide. One of the biggest, most profitable, and highest level bot farms people have told me about is the one at Zulrah. Many worlds have multiple gold farmers and bots making over 2 mil an hour on accounts with combat stats in the 90s. There are plenty of gold farmers here who aren't bots. In this video, I'm gonna focus on the actual bots that I find. Oftentimes, they'll have Mage Arena 1 capes, but not Mage Arena 2 capes. And as opposed to gold farmers, they really haven't trained any other stats other than the ones required for Zulrah. The account's usernames are clearly in the same pattern that bots use. And many of the accounts have some pretty expensive gear on them. Like this one right here was wearing an ancestral hat. Some of them have over 20 million magic experience. I actually snuck into a Discord dedicated to Zulrah botting. People share screenshots and information. For example, apparently there's a bot that will do the entire Regicide quest series for you. That's absolutely ridiculous. And I'm only sharing with you that information because the botters were talking about it over a month ago. And since then, they said the ban rates for that bot had skyrocketed, so people don't bot that anymore. And again, I can't show too much of these screenshots, but on screen you can see snippets of the screenshots I was able to gather. So first of all, the accounts are making over 2 mil an hour. Those are the numbers in the parentheses on the right of each screenshot. On the left is total profit of that bot session, I think. You can see that one profited 900 mil and one profited over 1 billion GP. Now in terms of kill count, one is over 6,000 and one's over 7,000. Finally, each bot session was over 400 hours. There's further evidence that there are a couple people who have very large Zulrah bot farms, and they said in the Discord that they make about 100 mil a day. Quick side note, there's like a help section in the Discord, and somebody in the help section was like, oh my god, I can't get the bot to work. It's not recognizing the ammo in my twisted bow. I don't know how seriously to take that, but are you freaking kidding me? Not only are you gonna bot, but you're gonna bot with a twisted bow? One location that could definitely feed into the supply of the higher level bot farms is the number of accounts at Flesh Crawlers. Now, I'm on a member's world right now, and almost every member's world actually looks like this. 3 to 5 different accounts in full room competing for Flesh Crawlers, and their names are random numbers and letters. It's a giant bot farm. And if you look at their stats, they're literally just rotating, training attack, strength, and defense level by level by level. Every once in a while, I would run into some players, and I wasn't sure if they were bots or not. They weren't talking at all, and if you look at their stats, they look kind of like the guys I saw at the Elder Chaos Druid. And it's pretty suspicious that people with such high stats would be at the Flesh Crawlers. But then again, there are noobs, and it's hard to tell what's going on. Now, there are plenty of other extremely high-level bot farms in the game. Any monster that's going to consistently drop a lot of GP per hour, let's say over 500k, is pretty heavily botted or gold farmed. So for example, you get these accounts at the Brutal Black Dragons. Now many of them were God D'hide, some of them with Armadillo crossbows, and a lot of them have well over 99 range, some of them with 70 million experience, but some of them with as much as 150 million experience. Like this account I found is rank 123 in ranged. It has no stats other than range, hit points, and Slayer, and I guess Prayer. And it's still using a rune crossbow with 150 million range experience. I also got a lot of tips about the Slayer tower and how there are lots of bots and guffins at gargoyles. Here are just a couple examples of those accounts. 95 attack, strength, and defense. Basically no other stats other than 75 Slayer. The overarching thing I saw in the Discord though was that even the players who are making over 100 mil a day, after all their costs, the risk of getting banned, training accounts, buying membership, and paying for bots, after all of that, even making over 100 mil a day, they were losing money. Also, I did talk to Modweeth about the Zulrah bots specifically. He's aware of the Zulrah bots, he bans them very frequently, and that the screenshots I showed you are likely spread out between other accounts. Anyway, don't forget to comment down below any other bot farms you know about that you'd like me to explore, and remember to subscribe if you haven't already.